Well, I've been quite busy lately, but that hasn't meant that I've been completely free of adventure. Just recently I went for a bit of a dive off the very far east coast of Australia, just off Byron Bay. And this video is going to show you exactly what that was all about, so stay tuned. Although it was a bit of a bumpy ride, it wasn't too long until we got to our dive destination, which is called Julian Rocks, which apparently is named after a cat by the name of Julian. Now, visibility wasn't too good, but Julian Rocks is famous for its outstanding diving, and it wasn't too long until I started to see some really cool things. Pretty much the first thing I saw as soon as I hit the bottom was this wobbegong or carpet shark. Now, they're not dangerous to humans, but they do sit around on the bottom and ambush prey such as octopus and pretty much anything slow enough to be grabbed by them. They're quite common and they're rather weird looking creatures. Those unusual tassels around the mouth just simply add to the camouflage. I got a pleasant surprise when I turned around a corner and sitting on the open sand was a rather large leopard shark. They do have markings much like a leopard, but, well, they're not really all that dangerous. Leopard sharks do feed on slow-moving things such as invertebrates and any scraps that end up on the bottom. Probably one of my least favourite creatures are moray eels, and this one is a white-eyed moray peering out at me from his little home in amongst the rocks. And it wasn't too long until we saw a turtle. Now, I thought this one was a green turtle, but my dive instructor thought it was a hawksbill. Either way, it had its face jammed in amongst the rocks, seeing if it could eat whatever on earth it was trying to eat. Couldn't really make it out. But didn't have time to stop and film. The dive had to keep on going, so we continued. And I certainly couldn't resist pointing the camera at this funny-looking pufferfish. Silver trevally might not be as big as their tropical cousins, but nonetheless I still like to film them. I love the way this school seemed to not really mind my presence. Filming them was really easy. This school of brown blubberlips obviously didn't feel much like feeding, so they just posted up along the drop-off. There's no shortage of red morwong out there either. Gold-spotted blubberlip are a lot more common in northern waters, but the tropical currents sweeping down the east coast do bring them to Julian Rocks. This pair here seems to be having an argument of sorts. There's another fish that I really wanted to see, the eastern blue groper. It's not really a groper, it's actually a kind of wrasse. Now, they all start off life as females, and if they get big enough and dominant enough, one of them will turn into a male, like this one. These guys are really cool. They're very peaceful, very easygoing, and they feed mostly on crabs and shellfish. Well, with that, my air was running out and I had to get back to the surface, but thanks so much to Byron Dive Centre for that wonderful trip out to Julian Rocks. It's well worth a go.